Resident Evil 0.
Some bizarre murders in the suburbs
14.
of Raccoon City.
Really?
Nothing in our training could ever have prepared us.
I
for
like
the
Resident Evil
nightmare that
0,
ensued.
but number
There have
14?
been arguments for years that with a few adjustments, Resident Evil 0 could have been one of the standout titles in the series. But to me, that's like saying with a few adjustments, I could have been a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. I only need to adjust my weight, skill, and age. Easy, right? Initially planned for the
Damn,
Nintendo
that's a
64, it faced
crazy
a 4-year
dig.
delay and eventually launched on the GameCube, serving as a prequel to the original
It's
game.
an
It follows
actual good
Rebecca
game.
Chambers after she separated from the STARS Bravo team and finds herself on a zombie-infested train. Good atmosphere, but that's about
Could have
it.
been better, though,
Bad
I do
gameplay,
agree.
Bad systems, tedious backtracking, and a mediocre experience overall. And it is at the bottom of our list because it should be getting just as much hate as our next entry.
Wait. What's 13?
Resident Evil 6.
Wait a damn minute. I will play Resident Evil 0 more than Resident Evil 6. I'm gonna just say that right now. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I try to play Resident Evil 6 to like feel better about buying it and pre-ordering it. Is it like a terrible game? Like overall as a game, nah, it's cool, but like compared to other Resident Evil games, it ain't really that good, man. Just to be honest, I would take 0 over 6. And I won't lie, I tried playing 0 on the GameCube. This is when I was kind of still scared about Resident Evil games, so I never beat it because I ended up getting a Wii. But I went back later on, ended up beating it actually on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? The boy streams on Twitch, so you can head over there and follow your boy and catch me live over there. And I enjoyed myself. And I was just like, I don't see why this game gets so much hate, but this game I understand, but nah, the replay value is very low. I'd rather play 0. That's crazy. 13, that should be 14. If these two on the, that should have been 14. That should have started off the list.
I am so excited for the day when Capcom remakes Resident Evil 6 so they can do things right, because this game should
Won't
have been
lie,
so much
if they
better
do a
than it was.
remake of 6,
This game should have
they
been
could do it
titled
right
Resident
and it
Evil
could be
Fan
one of the
Service, because
best,
it
but
features a
as
stacked
is, no.
cast of iconic characters including Leon Kennedy, Chris Redfield, Sherry Burton, and Ada Wong, but not even they could save this game. By 2012, Capcom was firmly in the action mindset when it came to Resident Evil games, largely removing all horror from the series. Resident Evil 6 does everything it can to separate itself from what made the series great, instead taking inspiration from games such as Call of Duty and Gears of War with its mechanics, making it a very confused and cluttered mess. The audience reception dropped from Resident Evil 4 to Resident Evil 5, and Capcom should have gone, okay, we'll go back to a more Resident Evil 4 style.
5 was
Instead,
great though.
They went, you didn't like the new angle? Well, here it is, but way more intense and far worse.
I heard you became an agent.
Why are you here?
I'm tracking the man behind all this. Chief Security Advisor Simmons.
What? There must be some sort of mistake. I report to Simmons.
He's your supervisor?
We're on our way to meet with him right now.
Where is he?
Resident Evil 5.
Really? I really enjoyed
Resident
this
Evil
one.
5 marked a true turning point for the series, adapting the combat mechanics of the fourth entry into a full-blown focus. While it improved on many aspects of its predecessor, Resident Evil 4, one significant flaw has tarnished its legacy: forced co-op gameplay. Those of us who grew up with siblings will appreciate Resident Evil 5 as one of our favorite entries on the list, but Chris teams up with Shiva, and when Shiva is controlled by the CPU, her shortcomings become apparent. She often wastes healing items and struggles to effectively assist her partner. This forced co-op mechanic frustrated many players and detracted from the experience. You poor only children had to suffer through this entry, and for that, we're putting it at a mild 12.
Damn. Damn, for real? I would have it higher, but okay. Damn.
Resident Evil 3 Remake.
I would have it higher than 3. But 3 is a great game too. But deleted content was crazy.
A few moments later.
Damn,
After the
man.
success of the Resident Evil 2 remake, which masterfully modernized the beloved survival horror classic, fans eagerly anticipated what Capcom would deliver next. However, the Resident Evil 3 remake fell short of those high expectations. It's not a
But
bad
Resident
game
Evil
by any
5
stretch
would be
of the
higher
imagination,
than 3.
but it felt like it was missing something.
What?
The original Resident Evil 3 was celebrated for its branching gameplay paths and the relentless Nemesis, who pursued players across multiple rooms, creating a constant sense of tension. Unfortunately, the remake stripped away these features along with several iconic locations, favoring a more linear experience that felt disconnected from the game that made it great. While it felt more like RE2, we didn't want RE2 this time. We wanted RE3. Actually, I wanted Soul Reaver, but that's not related, and also, they won't return my emails.
Yeah, careful, careful. Come on, don't look at me
This
like that.
looks a little bit weird to me, but
No, wait, please.
you know.
Resident Evil.
Number 10? Resident Evil?
This is the game that started it all.
That
but
dog
was
looks like he has
also
gum on
heavily
his
improved
face.
upon. That's not a roast, by the way, that's just a fact. In 1996, Capcom revolutionized the survival horror genre and launched one of the most iconic gaming franchises of all time, and the whole reason for this list. Initially conceived as a remake of Sweet Home, a movie tie-in NES game often regarded as the first survival horror title, it eventually evolved into Resident Evil, or Biohazard in Japan, or Shooty Zombie Bang Bang in Australia. Resident Evil laid a solid foundation for everything that followed, and what is a mansion without a solid foundation? Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Your identification number is WKD4496. Welcome to your new home.
I would think a lot of people
Resident
would
Evil Code
have
Veronica picks up after the events
the
in
classic
Raccoon
Resident
City.
Evil.
Following Claire Redfield,
higher
she
than
travels to Europe in search of her brother Chris.
Code
That's
Veronica,
right,
or I could
from
be
the
wrong.
first game. It marked a major evolution for the series, transitioning to fully 3D environments instead of the pre-rendered backgrounds of earlier titles. Originally released as a Dreamcast exclusive, it later made its way to the PlayStation 2 after Sega discontinued its final console. Code Veronica has divided fans. Some love it, while others are less enthusiastic, but many agree that a remake would be exciting. Too bad it's
Yes.
already been skipped when we saw the Resident Evil 4 remake. That being said, I'd have traded it in for an RE4 remake every single time.
I mean, the RE4 remake is great. How did they come up with this list? Kind of curious.
Resident
Not hating
Evil
though.
3, Nemesis.
Number 8? Wait, what was number 9? Oh, well, that wasn't.
It's been tough
I'm
to
high.
separate remakes and originals in this list because for the most part, as much as die-hard OG fans will get angry at me for saying, the remakes improve upon the originals. Resident Evil 3, however, had a solid original that can't really be beaten by the
gameplay
underlying
wise,
remake.
as far as like
Resident Evil 3 brings
how
the
it
Raccoon City
runs,
Outbreak saga, which
but
began with Resident Evil 1, to its
content
dramatic conclusion. The game
and the
is
telling
most
of the
famous for
story,
introducing Nemesis, a relentless
original
tyrant
does
who
better.
stalks Jill Valentine
Way better.
across the city, even pursuing her between
Damn.
rooms. What sets Resident Evil 3 apart, as discussed earlier, is its branching gameplay.
But why-
Player choices
Yo,
influence the
these
story's
other
direction,
Resident Evil games
leading to
gotta be,
different
like,
locations and
masterpieces.
encounters. It's a solid game that takes everything learned from the previous entries,
which has to
and
be
improves
the
upon
original
them
2,
massively.
remake 2,
Any objections to my playing hero this time?
but if
Resident Evil Remake.
number 7, okay. I feel like that's top 5, but
More moments later.
The 2002 Resident Evil Remake set the gold standard for remakes and remains the benchmark against which all others are measured. Capcom expanded on the 1996 original, enhancing every aspect without straying from its core essence. This remake brought to life the creator's original vision, limited by technology in 1996. It introduced new areas, reimagined map layouts, additional enemies, and fresh storylines, all while staying true to the spirit of the original game.
Agreed.
Of course, the RE2 remake and this remake are like night and day, but for the time, this was how a remake should be done.
kind of still is, to be honest. I enjoyed this too.
Resident Evil 2.
Okay, number 6. Okay, I can agree with that. I can 1000% agree with that.
I'd like to make it real clear with this, I wanted to switch this and the next entry, but the public and the commenters seem to think this is the way it should be, and I'm nothing if not a man of the people. Resident Evil 2 was everything for PS1 fans. Building on the foundation laid by Resident Evil 1 2 years earlier, the sequel improved upon every aspect of it. Resident Evil 2 introduced two iconic characters, Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield, with Leon becoming one of the series' most beloved figures. The game also featured 4 unique scenarios offering exceptional replayability. It's no surprise that Resident Evil 2 became one of the most highly requested remakes among fans, but we'll get to that later.
Dang. Run, Leon.
Resident Evil Village.
I don't understand why you are
Top
so...
5? I love Village, but top 5?
When Resident Evil Village was unveiled in 2020, the internet erupted over the reveal of the towering vampire lady, Lady D. And this fan thirst led it to the majority of the material, even though Lady D dropped out fairly early in the experience. Serving as the second and seemingly final chapter of Ethan Lynch's story, the game picks up where Resident Evil 7
I
left
love
off.
this game, but
Since its
top
release, Village
5?
has expanded with DLC that takes players into the future, allowing them to step into the role of Ethan's daughter, Rose. This new content hints at potential directions the series might explore in its next installment.
I ain't gonna lie,
From top to
DLC's
bottom,
fire.
It's the perfect blend of fan favorites Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4.
I hate
and
this beginning
part.
part.
Totally works.
Oh my god, I hate this part.
Resident Evil 4.
I was wondering if you might recognize
wow,
the girl
at
in this
number 4 is
photograph.
crazy.
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? Lárgate, cabrón.
Is Resident Evil 4
Sorry,
Remake going to be ranked number 1? Or is it going to be 2?
Placing Resident Evil 4 at number 4 might stir controversy, especially for those who entered the series with this iconic game, but hear me out. Or don't, you've probably watched enough for me to not get fired. Following Code Veronica, Capcom took a bold new direction, shifting from survival horror to a more action-focused experience. Leon Kennedy returns as the government agent tasked with rescuing the president's daughter, Ashley. Resident Evil 4 is undeniably a masterpiece that redefined action games, setting new standards that influenced the genre for the next decade. It also popularized mechanics like QuickTime events, which, love them or hate them, became a staple in gaming that pisses me off to this day.
Before you turn into one of them anyway.
Look!
Ashley, upstairs.
Upstairs.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
All I can say is that if you get this...
I believe top 5 or top
Stay
6.
away.
The game
Top
that
3?
saved a series. The risk
Well,
to
it
go
did
in a new
save us,
direction
but top
is just
3?
that, a massive risk, but sometimes it works out perfectly. 5 years after the underwhelming Resident Evil 6, Capcom brought the series back to its survival horror roots, this time adopting a first-person perspective instead of the traditional third-person view.
I love
the
this
result
game.
was Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, the scariest entry in the series, filled with intense and unsettling moments thanks to the horrifying Baker family. We went from fixed cam to third person to first person, and all
That
of them
shit gets
worked
me every time.
exceptionally well
Me a
in their own
crazy
way.
ass.
But first person is probably the scariest.
Welcome to the family, son.
Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I knew 4 was going to be 1. 4 Remake was going to be 1. I knew it. Because this was people's 1. It was between
After the release of Resident Evil 1
RE2
Remake in 2002,
original,
fans
OG,
eagerly anticipated a similar
and
treatment for
Remake.
Resident Evil 2. However, Capcom stayed silent for 17 years before finally delivering the Resident Evil 2 Remake, and the wait might have been for the best. This waiting and expecting has become a staple of the series now, with 2 remakes following that, and fans eagerly awaiting an RE5 remake. The RE2 remake preserves the charm and magic of the original while modernizing it for a new generation. I, for one, never played the original, and this game made me go back and throw the disc in my PS1, just to see. While the core layout and story remain faithful, the fresh twists elevate the classic. Despite minor issues like underwhelming B scenarios, the game's overall quality more than makes up for it.
Give me a break.
Resident Evil 4 Remake.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, this shit is amazing. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Shameless plug, I'm playing this right now over on Twitch. On professional mode.
Resident Evil 4 represents the pinnacle of the series, with over 12 million copies sold and serving as the entry point for countless fans. After the successful remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3, anticipation grew for a remake of Resident Evil 4. Released in 2023, the remake exceeded expectations, staying true to the beloved original while addressing its flaws and amplifying its strengths. Some fans praise the original, treating it as the GOAT, but this game improves upon everything that entry created, so it's hard to argue that this isn't the best entry in the series. Or maybe it's not. Pop off in the comments.
Next.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Mojoplays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.
Not gonna lie, there was a couple I disagree with. Overall, I can't, be mad at that list. I mean, I would have no reason to be mad at that list anyway. But, you know what I'm saying? I would have changed a couple things here and there, but when it got to that top 2, it is what it is. But let me know in the comment section, do you agree with this list? If you're a huge Resident Evil fan, let me put your list of your top 14 Resident Evil games. And then, if you guys respond, I'll put my top 14. You know what? That's what I think I'll do. I'll start off right in the comment section by putting my top 14 Resident Evil games, right? And then you can just comment under that yours. Let me know if you agree with mine's. You know what I'm saying? Or you just no, it's this, DMV. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy dmvspitta. If you like this video, go ahead, as always, hit the like button. Hit it, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. Like salt and pepper, you know what I'm saying? And if you like any content on my channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Your boy's trying to make his way. Can't but talk right now. Trying to make his way. You know what I'm saying? To get monetized. So, you know what I'm saying? Help your boy out. You know what I'm saying? Help me out. Hit that subscribe button and the post notification bell. I don't be talking about that, but hit that too, so you can get notified when I upload something. Because 2025, we going up. Yeah. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace. At an early age, cash rules everything, and if you ain't talking moolah, then you ain't saying nothing.